Hi everyone, my name is Dina Salema and I started a podcast. I have been sleeping on this for so long and I was just like, you know what? It's now or never because you're going to keep sleeping on this, postponing it, and then you're never going to take the first step. So I was just like, okay, I really want to do this. I just need to stop overthinking it, do it. What do I have to lose? Nothing. I like sitting in front of a camera and talking. It's it's like how some people when they want to empty their thoughts they journal. I personally don't really enjoy journaling, and I feel like this is my way of journaling, is talking out loud, thinking out loud. I used to make videos, podcasts, but I never posted them, and I was just everything I couldn't say to someone, everything I wanted to say but never did, I would just blurt it out in a video, and it made things so much easier for me. So this is why I'm starting this. I mean, it's something I enjoy doing. So basically, today's topic is more or less about self growth and self respect, and how much I realized in such a short amount of time how much I've changed. And the certain situation I'm going to tell you guys about that happened to me. And in that moment, I realized how much I've changed is what led me to this present moment right now. How it changed how I approach situations, how I act in certain situations, how I think, my friendships, relationships, my family, everything. So, without talking too much, I'm just gonna get into the video and start talking to you guys about everything that led to this present moment. About a year ago, I moved to the UK and I met this guy that I used to talk to. And during that moment when we were talking, things happened and it was quite on a rough patch. But I saw him with another girl. And the thing is, I feel like so many girls have been put in these situations where there's another girl. And it's a normal thing. It happens to all of us. It happens to 99% of people. There's gonna be another person if you're in a talking stage, which is normal. In this situation, it's not even about him. It's about me. It's like I'm kind of like thanking him for making me realize how much I've changed from like when it comes to the way I think. And in that moment when I saw him with another girl, I just know my past self would have made it a whole drama. And I'm going to be completely honest. It's not something to be proud of, but it's the truth. My past self would have made it such a big drama, would have caused a scene. But in that moment in time, I was just sat there and it's as if there was like a force pulling me from doing anything. It's like in my head, it's like do something, do something, do something. But it's as if something was pulling me back. And quite surprisingly, I did not do anything. I quite literally just got up and left. And then I took like a good few days, like 4 to 5, maybe a week, to just sit with my thoughts, gather all my thoughts together, and just think. Just think. Obviously, I talked to other people about it. It's normal. I took advice from a few friends because at the end of the day, I'm still a human being. But that did not mean that I should react out of emotion. But instead, I believe I did the right thing. So I gathered my thoughts. I eventually ended up talking to the person and having a conversation about it. And I just peacefully removed myself from that environment, from that toxic environment, and that unnecessary drama that I did not want for myself. And it worked in my favor because from that day on, I have been growing, I have been working on myself, finding better ways to approach situations, finding better ways to deal with things. And it just made me a calmer person. Not only in that moment in time did I think to myself and realize, listen, Dina, you do not deserve this. You don't deserve to be put in this situation. You have self respect, you know who you are, and you have values. Not only did I realize that, but I've also realized like it's insane how much a person can grow in such a short amount of time. And I genuinely think part of the reason this happened to me, the whole mindset change, was also because of the environment changed. Because I moved from one continent to another, the whole environment changed. My whole life flipped upside down. And I feel like that also played such a big role in it. Because you're starting a new life, you're starting a new chapter. And I feel like that also pushed me towards finding a better me, improving myself. It's like following the steps to the person I want to become. And it all started when I moved to the UK. And then when I realized that this all started is when that certain situation happened to me. After that situation was over and done with, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. It was like I said what I needed to say to the person. I finally said what had to be said with all respect, and it was a very good conversation. And it also brought clarity to me as a person, as who I am. Like, this is who you are. You're a person who now, when they're upset about something, they approach that situation in a calm manner instead of raging about it. Because when you rage about something, neither person A or B understands what's going on. Emotions are high. No one really focuses on what the other person is saying. You're just trying to get your point through instead of hearing the other person. And I realized that. So now it's like I approach situations, or I try to at least, in a calmer manner, in a calmer way, in a peaceful way. That person, or regardless of that person, that situation does not require my time and energy and all those emotions to be raged out. It really doesn't require that. So instead of raging about it and crashing out, I chose to protect my peace. And that's what I have been doing until this present moment in time. Because some things are really not that deep. Some things, they're just not worth it. You just gotta, keep moving through with your life. Not only did like a weight was lifted off of me, it was also like a switch was flipped in my brain. It's like something in my brain completely changed. And I was just like a completely different person, more or less. And once I started realizing this, more and more people from my close circle started realizing it as well. And from then on, I learned that not only protecting your peace is important for your mental health, it also gives you the time to sit with yourself and think about situations from different perspectives. Because in the moment, emotions are high, it's heated. You don't really put yourself in the other person's position. And I'm not talking about the situation I just told you guys about, I'm talking in general. You don't really put yourself in other people's position, or you see it from different perspectives, or, oh, I might have said this that triggered that, or they might have said this that triggered this. So protecting your peace is about, to me, not letting things slide under the rug, just sliding it through. No. To me, it's about gathering your thoughts and really deeping something that means something to you, that you think is worth it, and deeping it and looking at it from different perspectives and self-reflecting and kind of like studying yourself, kind of like seeing what your actions could have led to. And the last part I really want to talk about is the power you hold in moments is very, very crucial. I don't think people understand that the amount of power you have in a certain situation is a lot. It's really a lot. And what you choose to do with that power could lead to completely different outcomes. Choose silence when you're in a moment. Choose silence instead of reaction. Because when you choose silence instead of reaction, you could prevent so many things from escalating and being blown out of proportion just because you chose silence. I'm not saying, again, just brush it off. I'm saying choose silence in the moment when emotions are high. People are mad, people are upset. Choose silence, especially if you're upset, because me personally, if I'm upset, I will be saying things that I do not mean. And it could really, really even lead to loss of friendships, relationships, family. And why? Why do we do all this when an issue could be this small, and just because you chose or the person chose to blow it out of proportion, it leads to loss of valuable friendships that meant a lot to you? So instead of saying what first comes to mind when you're angry, or making a decision out of emotion, just choose not to do anything until you clear your mind and you properly think, okay, I'm going to approach this situation this way, and you come to a conclusion as to what you want to do. A mature, clear conclusion instead of a fogged brain that's filled with emotions, and you do things that you might regret in the future. So do not always react when you think it's the right time to react, because I do understand, and sometimes, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. Sometimes emotions get high, issues happen, and even I say things out of emotion, which happens. You can't always be perfect. Things like these happen. Even if I'm sat here right now preaching about, oh, don't react out of emotion, choose silence. Some things happen and you react out of emotion. So that's something I've been doing lately, is trying not to react out of emotion and trying to sit with my thoughts and really observe the situation before acting on it. Because I used to be the person who always, in any situation, I'm going to say what needs to be said because I feel like it, because my emotions said I should. Do you know what I mean? But then I started working on myself and trying to be a better person, because that person I was, and with those things said, because I was upset or I was angry, it hurts people, and you don't necessarily mean to hurt those people. So that's why I've been working on myself, and this is the advice I give you guys as well, is to really, really just sit down with yourself. Alone time is great. I also used to be the type of person who always wants to be surrounded by people, never likes staying alone. But the more and more I got older, is the more I realized that sitting alone really helps. And I feel like it also played a key part to my self-growth. A really big part. Because alone time gives you the time to think, especially if you're an overthinker. During your alone time, find ways, because I myself am an overthinker, and a lot of people don't know this about me. But me myself, I'm an overthinker, and I found a way to express my emotions in a healthy way instead of bottling up all that anger and then bursting out onto someone, because that is the most toxic thing a person can do to themselves and to others, is to bottle up emotion. Because one day you're gonna burst and you're gonna do things that you don't want to do, and you're gonna do things that you might possibly regret in the future, or say things that you're probably gonna regret in the future. Bottling up feelings is the worst, and especially if you're an overthinker. Journaling wasn't really my thing. I know people who enjoy journaling, but it wasn't really my thing. But I did find a thing, which is filming podcasts and videos, that is a healthy way to express your emotions. That's pretty much it. This is where I'm gonna leave the video. I really hope I got my point across. The last thing I'm gonna say is self-growth is really easier than you think. You just need to find ways that you enjoy that will help you reach to the ideal person you want to become. And I'm not at that stage yet, but I am reaching there by bettering myself every single day. So that's it, everyone. I really, really do hope you enjoyed. And if you related to this, that's great. I will be posting more content on here, hopefully. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.